West to Water Sports, ahoy! Welcome along to a massive doubleheader here of Big Bash action. This opening game, the Melbourne Renegades versus the Brisbane Heat, has so many ramifications on the rest of the tournament. Brisbane Heat, it's quite simple. They need to win to stay alive. If they lose, they're gone. The Melbourne Renegades, still a mathematical chance of qualifying for the finals. It's going to be very tough for them, though, because they need to elevate their net run rate quite substantially. But the first job for them is done. They've won the bat flip. They've elected to field first, which was an absolute no-brainer decision, right? Because it means, quite simply, the Brisbane Heat are going to come in and set a total, and the Renegades are going to know exactly how fast they have to chase those runs down to get their run rate high enough to get into fourth spot and potentially, if things go their way, qualify. So, the Melbourne Renegades, it's a slim chance, but a chance nonetheless. Welcome along. It's going to be exciting. ALBS West. Albs. Is that, yeah, that's ALBS West. Ahoy there, welcome along. And Jay King, ahoy mate. How are we doing? Ready for this one? The Melbourne Renegades winning the bat flip and electing to bowl first. And they're off the mark immediately here. The Brisbane Heat, McSweeney with a single. Jay King, I go for the Brisbane Heat. Big game. Very, very concerning, this game, because obviously no Usman, Khawaja or Marnus Labuschagne tonight. They were back for one night only at the Gabba the other night. Rogers wide down the leg side. Wood turns it off the pads for a quick single. A lot falls onto the shoulders here of McSweeney, Renshaw, and Max Bryant. A lot. Rogers, much better delivery this time. Cuts McSweeney in half. And a dot ball. Good bowling. So yeah, the situation is quite simple. Situation quite simple for the Brisbane Heat. They just need to win. A little more complicated for the Melbourne Renegades. They have to win and win by a certain amount. The net run rate, a real issue for them. Jordan, ahoy mate. All right, I've got to fix my scoreboard here. Doing both games, mate. Yes, hopefully a swing and a miss here from Wood, and that'll be a leg bye. Doing both games, and hopefully the next game has something to play for. Because if the Brisbane Heat win, that essentially eliminates everybody else below them mathematically, except for the Stars. But if the Renegades win, it means that the Strikers and the Scorchers have a lot to play for in the next game as well. So, in terms of excitement and in terms of something to get behind. Oh, they've come through for a quick leg bye here. Not a bad start, really, for the Brisbane Heat, but 3 leg byes suggest that they're struggling to get to the pace of the ball or Yeah, just haven't quite found their rhythm at the moment. Jackson, ahoy there. Stars full-strength team wins it all. The Joker. You're a Thunder fan. Go the Renegades today. Sydney Thunder, of course, comfortably already through. All right. I've just got to fix this my screen quickly. I don't know why that changes every single time. Archie Boom says, come on, Heat. And thank you very much for the follow there, Archie Boom. Liam says, as a Stars fan, I thought we were done 5 games into the season, and that's what makes the Stars such an underdog story. McSweeney advances down the pitch, can't get back to it. Off the pads again, no run this time, though. So just struggling here at the moment, the Brisbane Heat batsmen not getting to the pace of the ball at all. Turned off the hips. They come through for a quick single. Well, Jack Wood, if nothing else, he's running between the wickets good. McLovin, 6'9", 6'9". Can the Heat still qualify for the finals? Yes, the Brisbane Heat need to win this game. Doesn't matter if they win by 1 run or... It doesn't matter. They just have to win. And then they would need the Melbourne Stars to lose to the Hurricanes tomorrow. Slower ball. Wood bends it back down the ground. Mathematically, everyone can still qualify. The Joker. Mathematically, everybody still can, but it's going to be very, very difficult. For the Renegades, for example, they need to elevate their net run rate by about 0.300. 0.300. I think they're behind 4th spot at the moment. So they need to win quite comprehensively. So they won the flip. They elected to field first, which was the perfect decision because it means the Brisbane Heat are going to set a total. The Renegades are going to know exactly how many overs they need to chase that total down by to get themselves into the top 4. But then, of course, they would probably need the Strikers and the Scorchers to tie in the next game because their net run rate is so far behind everybody else. Whoever wins between the Strikers and the Strikers and Scorchers next would then go ahead of the Renegades pretty much instantly, regardless. Captain Redbeard, ahoy, mate. You hope the Heat win? I'm kind of torn, Captain Redbeard. As a Brisbane Heat fan, obviously you want the Brisbane Heat to win as McSweeney goes the ramp, the cheeky bugger. But there's protection down there at deep fine leg. And it's just a single. That is a high-risk shot for very little reward there. Just 4 off this over. Good bowling from the Renegades thus far. The Joker, you've been watching on YouTube for a while, but only just remembered that you had a TikTok. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't understand TikTok at all. At all. But I think we've got a decent little setup here on the TikTok. None for 9 here for the Brisbane Heat after 2 overs. Mads hopes the Renegades win. Hurricanes win. Strikers win. Turned off the pads here. McSweeney out into the deep. Just a single. So they haven't hit a boundary yet, the Brisbane Heat. No boundaries yet in this power play. This is a very slow start. This is an incredibly slow start. Now they've heard me, and Jack Woods decided to go all or nothing, and he gets all of it over mid-wicket for 6. He must have heard me. He's like, gosh, that guy on TikTok is right. We're going a bit slow here. And the first boundary of the power play, and it's a big one. And he goes again. Almost a mirror image. Back-to-back sixes. And he definitely heard me. Lockie Bragger, ahoy, mate. White Heart, Purple Hearts. There is a scenario where the Perth Scorchers could still qualify. There is. It's going to be very, very difficult. It's a long shot, but there is still a chance, as slim as it may be. Goes again, Wood. 3 sixes in a row. Just gets enough on this one. 6, 6, 6, the mark of the beast. Can he go 4? Will Main, ahoy, mate. Well, after a very, very sleepy start, suddenly Jack Wood has decided it's time to go. Oh, the bowler's furious. Sutherland is furious at his fielder there. The fielder on the rope suggesting the sun was in the eyes, but Sutherland is not copping that. Just bowl better, mate. Like that. Better bowling. Cuts away to the man for no run. None for 28, 2.4. Captain Redbeard says about the Brisbane Heat that they've honestly been pretty poor this season, though. So to be honest, we don't deserve to win the tournament or be in the top 4 this year. It would certainly be a hell of a what's the word? Hell of a turnaround to suddenly be any threat in the finals, that's for sure. Final ball of the over, fended back down the pitch for no run. Big one for the Heat. Sutherland is furious. He's still going off at the fielder for not being back on the rope to take the catch. That's hilarious. Oscar Toad says, ever since I said Mayhem McSweeney going to get out, they keep hitting sixes. None for 28 after 3. Much better position now, the Brisbane Heat, thanks to Jack Wood. Will Main, who will place 4th in my prediction. Look, I think the Stars get there. I just love that as McSweeney's cut in half again. Okay, so Jack Wood's decided to go. But McSweeney still struggling to get to the pace of this. Oh! Captain Redbeard in the chat. That last 6. Hang on. Oh, I don't think I have the drum sound. Thinking about a second, but just the one run there. Captain Redbeard about that last six. Last six was a tight one for sure. That's what she said. I thought I had a badum tish, but I don't. I've just got various drum sounds. Yeah. Doesn't quite work the same, does it? 4 balls left in this over. And a swing and a miss from Wood this time. Cut in half with an off-pace delivery. Rogers bowling well, slowing the pace down. Mixing the pace up. No fires here. Thankfully, no fires in this DJ booth. Plus, we know one thing for certain. I won't be leaving my post to go and get a coffee. Big hoik at this one from Wood. He's loving that deep mid-wicket fence, but he can't get hold of this one. So it seems like a clear decision to go after Sutherland. Rogers, as reliable as ever, just the one run off this over so far. Two balls left in the over. Slower ball, full, driven through the covers, but the man on the circle slides, cuts it off, and just a single. I still reckon what happened, Joker, I wasn't there, obviously, so I don't know, but I still reckon what happened was that she's left something plugged in or switched on that she wasn't supposed to, or you know what I mean? She's accidentally left something, maybe a couple of things too close to each other that weren't meant to be. Or it could have just been a horrible coincidence. None for 31 here at the end of the power play. So it turns out being a half-decent one here for the Brisbane Heat. After a very slow start, Jack Wood with that 18 or 3 balls. Definitely put them in a stronger position. Byron, ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. Yes, watching on KO. And they've gone to spin immediately now. Adam Zampa into the attack. Now, in the pregame, there was a lot of talk about this being a bit of a spinner's paradise. So we'll see. Zo plays. Ahoy there. Apologies that I couldn't stick around for very long at all on your TikTok live stream. I think it was about 4 a.m. So I popped in. I tapped like as many times as I could. And waved in the chat room. That was about the extent of my contribution. Missing Khawaja and Labuschagne. Oh, yeah, somebody asked what the deal was with Khawaja and Labuschagne only playing the one game. Never got around to answering it as Wood advances down the pitch to Zampa, but he's got protection out there at long off. Money. Money. That's what it was all about. They were only allowed to play one game, so they decided, obviously, that one game would be at the Gabba to draw a crowd. So it was it was just a financial thing. One game, financially, better than no games. But honestly, I'd be furious. If I were a coach, I'd be furious. I want players in my team that have been here from the start, are going to play to the end. Yeah, I think Colin Munro is still out, actually, Captain Redbeard. I mean, he, excuse me, he tweaked his hand pretty badly. Yeah, Daniel Drew's in to replace Colin Munro. He'll be in next. Big Paul Walters back, though, so you know that the Renegades are going to get quite a few runs in the middle overs. All singles so far off this one from Zampa. Can it be a single to finish? Dot ball to finish, 5 off the over. Seems like a happy number for the Brisbane Heat. None for 36 after 5. Taj Wakely, who have I got winning the Scorchers game? I reckon the Scorchers win it. We'll find out. Anyway, I mean, basically, if the Brisbane Heat win this game, then that is officially the end of the Strikers, Scorchers, and Renegades. Strikers and Scorchers then have nothing to play for in the following game, so who knows? When you've got two teams with literally nothing to play for but pride, it could be an interesting game, though, still to watch, because both teams might just throw everything at it. It might just be a literal smash and bash, depending on the circumstances. Sticking with the spin here, the Renegades. Stowe into McSweeney, who, with a beautiful cover drive, gets it through the gap, but well fielded on the fence. Fraser-McGurk. That's McSweeney's best shot of the game so far, and he still can't get a boundary. Poor McSweeney, he'll be wondering, what the hell do I have to do to get this ball to the fence? So, straighter this time, driven down the ground. Thinking about 2 the second, that's a shocking throw. Not even close. A good throw might have been a chance. Cheers, and yes, we will be streaming the next game as well. Aaron says the Renegades are so poor, they need a better coach and players. Well, I think they've got the players. I don't think I think they've got on paper a very solid squad, personally. After the first few games, I actually had the Renegades. I thought they were looking good. I had them as a smoky to win the whole thing. I thought they had an extremely well-balanced lineup. As they come through for a quick single. Well, good running between the wickets here. Yeah, Fraser-McGurk has had a really, really poor season. Big Josh Brown got hurt, which didn't help their cause. And a dot ball here from Stowe. 6 off the over so far, though. It's been interesting, this inning so far from the Heat. McSweeney, 15 off 18. Struggling to get going. But still out there. That's the important thing for the Heat. No wickets. Final ball. McSweeney lifts this over the top of the infield. Well, he lifts it over the top of everything, I think. It's gone all the way. That was so casual. And McSweeney has finally broken the shackles. None for 48 after 6. That was just such a casual little loft. I actually thought he's put this straight down the throat of the fielder here. Zo02. Ahoy. Actually, we are going to do Super League. Yes. Joker, ahoy. We've got the Joker and Joker. That's going to get confusing. A slow ball outside off from Fergus O'Neill. Back into the attack now. Punch down the ground. Thinking about the quick two again. Fraser-McGurk fires it in. Maybe Fraser-McGurk should have less microphone. This actually infuriates me, honestly. The player mic. I'm sure it's great for the viewers at home. But I would be furious, honestly, if I were a coach. Like, we've got no time to be fluffing about talking to the commentary team. Need you concentrating on the game. The Joker says you should do WrestleMania in April. Well, I can tell you, we are doing the Royal Rumble on February 2nd. In the meantime, coming through for a quick single again here. The Heat running between the wickets well, and that's really all that's been keeping them ticking along here. None for 50. They've been very, very good taking the quick singles. Captain Redbeard says, can you imagine player mic in the NRL? Holy hell. Let's just say it wouldn't be allowed to be broadcast on Channel 9 anymore. Anybody who's played any rugby league at any level, I mean, whether it be high school, like I've played a few charity games in recent years, as Mick Sweeney pulls this one away on the leg side for 4. Yes, he's getting going now. 4 more runs. And the Brisbane Heat starting to get a move along. So yeah, in my most recent years, I've only played charity games, of course. But some of the banter that goes on out there at any level, yeah, it's not fit for television. Wide outside off stump. And Fergus, he'll have to bowl that one again. Captain Redbeard says Ricky Stewart would blow his stack if they mic'd his players. Imagine if they mic'd him. Cut away through the gap, but protection out there at point. Just the single. And it is none for 57 after 7 overs gone. And, yeah, this has been a really interesting start for the Brisbane Heat. Like, we're just looking at their Manhattan at the moment, and they've only really had 3 what you would call big overs that have contributed to this score. A really interesting innings at the moment. Zampa into McSweeney, backs away, can't beat the man at point. And a dot ball. Zampa to McSweeney, goes the ramp and it beats the keeper. Frustration from Zampa. Frustration for the Renegades bowlers in general. We saw Will Sutherland frustrated earlier. Had his fielder out on the rope, and now Zampa. They just can't catch a break at the moment, the Renegades. 3 wides. None for 60. Going the ramp again, McSweeney. Back-to-back ramps. He gets hold of this one, and this will be 4. Oh, no, it won't. Cut off by Fergus O'Neill. Fergus O'Neill appeared out of nowhere. Where did he pop up from? Saved a certain boundary. They come back for 2. Colton06, thank you very much for the TikTok. Up the heat, says Colton. Swing and a miss, and it takes off stump. He's bowled him. Zampa has clean bowled him, and McSweeney, who never really looked comfortable, to be honest, he's on his way. Now, there's the breakthrough that just opens the gate. And I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Brisbane Heat depth of batting. And Adam Zampa could rip through them here. Well bowled out the back of the hand there. McSweeney playing for spin, but it goes straight on and connects with the top of off stump. McSweeney, 29 of 26, but honestly, he never looked comfortable, in my opinion. And Matt Renshaw gets a promotion up the order. Will Main, yes, the game ended up getting called off yesterday. Chase, watching this on KO Sports, mates. I think it's KO exclusive today, the doubleheader. Channel 7 only bought the rights to X amount of games and the finals. And I've noticed that Channel 7 haven't played any of the doubleheader nights. So maybe Foxtel exclusively bought the doubleheaders. As Renshaw gets this off the outside edge. Bouncing before the fielder. Bends away to the leg side. They come through for a quick single. Fun fact, if you have binge, they show the games on there. Is that right? Oh, well, that's cool. I mean, I know that they're all owned by Foxtel. Foxtel owns Binge and KO as Wood advances down the pitch and slogs Zampa straight down the ground for 4. One for 67 after 8, so Wood and Renshaw, can they get going here for the Heat? Captain Redbeard says, yeah, Binge is starting to put sport from KO on there. They started with the BBL. Well, it actually makes sense. It really does make sense, Captain Redbeard. Because, as I said, they own all the platforms. I would have thought that they would have had it like Amazon. For anyone who's got Amazon, like Amazon owns or partners with Paramount Plus, BritBox, I think, is another one. They partner with all these different places, and you can access all those different apps through the Amazon app. I would have thought that KO and Binge would do exactly the same. Two runs off the first ball here from Sutherland. going for 21 off his first over. Can Wood go after him again? Renshaw fends back to the bowler, no run. .2 gone. Got to get Wood on strike. Let him get after Sutherland again. Renshaw fends away again. We see this from Renshaw, don't we? It takes him a little bit of time to get into his innings. A slow starter, but a potentially big finisher. That's what we like to see. Chucks, ahoy there, mate. I go for the Brisbane Heat. But, I mean, part of me kind of wants the Renegades to win so that we've got a lot more excitement in the following game. If the Brisbane Heat win this, then it means the Scorchers versus Strikers means absolutely nothing. So, as much as I want my team to win and still be a chance of being in the finals, don't think we're going to win anyway come finals time. I do love a good, exciting game of cricket. And a win here for the Renegades gives the Strikers and the Scorchers coming up next everything to play for. That said, I think the Stars still take that final spot. Fletcher, as Renshaw turns this off the pads. Just a single. This has been a much better over from Sutherland. Just 3 runs from it. Well, here's an interesting thing, Will. We'll talk about it after this ball. Slower ball outside off. Wood punches down the ground for 1. One for 71 after 9. I actually have a theory, Will, which I don't know if it will turn out to be true or not, but the Hurricanes are already top of the table, right? They finish first no matter what. They've really had to work hard for their past couple of wins, which suggests to me maybe the players are just starting to tire. What if, since it's basically a free game for the Hurricanes, they're top of the table whether they win or lose, what if they give all their top players a rest? Get them ready and rested for the game against the Sydney Sixers. So the Melbourne Stars are essentially playing a reserves team. Should be an easy win for the Stars, easy qualification. Josh Brown into bowl anyway, and he starts with a bouncer. Swing and a miss there from Wood. And it beats everybody. It beats the wicketkeeper as well. And they come back for 3 byes. Oh, it's 4 wides even. So they've run 3, and this has actually been called a wide. It's bounced over the top of everybody. Fletcher, I go for the Brisbane Heat. Yeah, I can't say with any authority that they will or they won't, Will Main, but as Renshaw drives this through the covers, but it won't get to the fence. This is either a very big outfield or a very slow outfield because boundaries have been very hard to come by. It seems like it's either 6 or nothing. Other grounds, you would see that race away to the fence. Yes, I will. I can't I can't say with any authority that they will actually do it. I'm just saying, if I were a coach, if I were the coach of the Hurricanes, I would be seriously considering it. Wood goes after this one on the leg side. Can't get to the rope again. Well fielded out there. And again, the Brisbane Heat just can't get it to the fence. Marvel Stadium is very small oval, so it must be very slow. It looks pretty heavy out there, actually. Oh, he's touched the rope. No, he's gone and goofed up. He's done all that amazing work. And then he puts his foot back and hits the rope. Oh, dear. He had done so well up until that point there, when he reaches back and hits the rope. Unfortunate. Well, this is going to be infuriating for the bowler again. Brown right on the money. But they'll still come back for two. Well run and a misfield. Wow, the Renegades in the field. What's going on? It's suddenly gone to hell. Jack Wood goes after it again. He loves that shot. Over, long on for 6. Brown has gone for 19 off this over. Probably didn't deserve to. There's still a ball to go. Oh, God. It could get worse here for the Renegades. Goes again. Wood doesn't get all of it. It skews up in the ash. It's going to land safe in between 3 fielders. The Renegades just can't get anything to go their way at the moment. Brisbane Heat 1 for 92 after 10. It's drinks break time. And very well positioned here at the moment, the Brisbane Heat. The bigger their score, the harder it will be, not only just to chase down, period, but to chase down in the time that they need to in order to boost their net run rate high enough to have any chance of qualifying the Renegades. Brisbane Heat, though, very well poised here. 1 for 92 after 10. A couple of quick wickets, though, as always, could change that. Jack Wood, he's been doing the damage. I should imagine that it would be Drew coming in next. Daniel Drew or Max Bryant. I suppose it depends. It depends on the game situation. If these two bat for 5 or 6 more overs and they call the power surge, it would obviously be Max Bryant to come in if a wicket fell. But there's also Daniel Drew, Tom Alsop, Paul Walter, Michael Nisa, Xavier Bartlett, Spencer Johnson, and Mitch Swepson still to come. End of the drinks break here. 1 for 92. So after a very slow start and a lack of boundaries, the Brisbane Heat have still managed to hour along here. Matt Welsh says, final prediction. What, for this game? Or for the BBL 14? Oh, they're calling the surge immediately. The power surge has been called immediately. Well, this is interesting. I mean, Wood is obviously in form. Fletcher says, well, they've been going well, so why not? Well, I mean, typically you use the power surge to lift yourself out of a hole when you're bogged down a little bit. Typically. We'll see if it pays dividends, though. To go straight away. First ball, Renshaw lifts it off the pads, through the gap for 4. Well, it's a good start. Oh, is it going to go for 4? Yes, it does. He's touching the rope again. But yeah, usually, if you're already traveling along nicely, you wouldn't burn the surge, typically. But hey, they've started well, starting with a boundary. Dylan, you're watching Alex play the tennis. Wasted Water Sports is the GOAT. I miss Old Panther. I'm going to take a photo of that and send it to him. Jesus Christ. I'm assuming everybody heard that. I better see what's going on out there. Wow. Okay, that was a particularly aggressive one. As Renshaw looks to ramp and it falls perilously short of a diving wicketkeeper. Oh, boy. Look, I'm a Brisbane Heat fan, but got to say, they're getting some luck roll their way. They are having some luck roll their way tonight. But yes, Joker, Old Panther will be back for the NRL season. Don't you worry about that. Plenty more Old Panther to come in 2025. Slower ball. Lofted away, square on the leg side, just the one. Jacob asks if I'm a Heat fan because I'm from Brisbane. No, actually, I became a Brisbane Heat fan because of earlier on the very heavy Kiwi influence. Brandon McCullum was one of my favourite players, and Daniel Vittori was the coach. 2 balls left. Renshaw, swing and a miss. The dog's name is Alara, but for the stream, we call her Falcor Jr. Rogers getting punished in this over. Slower ball, scooped up into the air, but into the gap again. They are riding their luck out here, the Brisbane Heat tonight. It must be said, 1 for 102. And a good start to the surge. Dylan, thank you very much for the 3 roses. User 226760699957. Thank you for the 2025. Cheers. Well, this is an interesting call. Will Sutherland to bowl the second of the surge overs. He got absolutely tonked. Oh, swing and a miss by Renshaw. Beats him on the outside edge. Well bowled. Oh, God. Rights for the WWE. Holy hell. If you think that the rights for the Big Bash are expensive, imagine how much it would cost to purchase rights for WWE. Renshaw scoops this from outside off, and it lands in the gap again. Well, they are riding their luck all the way to the bank here tonight, the Brisbane Heat. It might be a good night for them to buy some lottery tickets. Frustration from the Renegades bowlers. They just can't. These balls just keep landing into gaps. Right on the money there in Renshaw. Right in the slot. And he just sends it over mid-wicket for 6. A half volley right in the zone. And a gift for Matty Renshaw. Poor bowling. Southern frustrated. Forcing the mistake upon himself. Pretty disappointing season again for the Renegades, says the Beetle. And now pulled away. 6 more. That was pulled away with authority. Power. It was flat all the way across. One for 117. Oh, they're putting on a show. Well, there you go. They called the power surge. My personal opinion was that they've called it too early. But they've certainly taken maximum value out of it. Renshaw scoops it for 6. Over the offside on this time. Another 3 sixes in a row from Sutherland. Well, I did say it was bizarre to give Sutherland the power search. He was taken for 3 sixes in a row in his opening over. And they've brought him back on for the surge, and he's been taken for 3 more 6s in a row. You hop down. Sutherland's fired up about something. Oh, running on the pitch. Sutherland's copped a warning here for running on the pitch. He's been warned for running on the pitch, and he has now been taken out of the attack. And they've gone to Josh Brown to finish off this over. It scoops away for just the 1. Do they push hard for a second? Oh, they come back for 2. Well, that is just insulting. That is insulting at this point. It's 1 for 125. This is going to be a monster total. Bizarre scenes here. He still had one ball left to bowl, Sutherland. The Joker asks if I've ever gotten 10K likes on a stream on TikTok yet. Honestly, mate, I do not know. I'm still very, very new to TikTok. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand where to find all such information. XJC, ahoy, mate. And the Renegades return to spin. Wood goes after it, looking for his 50, sends it down the ground, and he's caught it long off. They return to spin and get the wicket immediately. Jack Wood falls. Can't bring up his 50. And the Renegades finally get the breakthrough. They've had a few edged or skied, and they've fallen safely in between fielders. And finally, this one goes straight to hand. And a simple catch. Fraser-McGurk down there at long off. Jack Wood, 45 of 27. He's on his way at last for the Renegades. 2 for 125. Still very well positioned. Obviously, the Brisbane Heat. Good game so far, says Simon, Hobart Hurricanes. And they have gone with Daniel Drew. I thought that maybe Max Bryant would get elevated here, considering there's only just over 7 overs left. They've gone with Daniel Drew, though. Hobart versus the Stars tomorrow. Yes, indeed, Simon. Looking forward to that one. If the Stars win, it makes everything that happens today completely irrelevant. Cut away, and he's off the mark immediately, Drew. The man out there at on the fence, deep cover. Renshaw back on strike. 39 of 20. Certainly got things moving along in the power surge, did Renshaw. Banging it in a little short. Renshaw pulls it away. Just the one run. Good bowling. So could this be the sort of night that opens up Fraser-McGurk? Quick single, trouble if he hits, but he doesn't. A direct hit was needed. Yeah, could this be the sort of game that opens up Fraser-McGurk, where it's all or nothing, big hit, big hit, big hit. Oh, my alliance is already full, is it, Joker? Up in the air, caught. Renshaw's gone. Stow gets 2 in the over. And Renshaw just casually lifts it to the covers. Chest height. And it's the spinner doing the damage. Well, things suddenly not looking so rosy for the Brisbane Heat. I'll have to share my... oh, sorry, yeah, it was Stow. Stow. However you want to pronounce it. Potato. Stow. 2 for 15. 2 wickets in this over. But yes, for those who are interested in playing some hit wicket, I'll have to... I'll put a link up with my username to add me as a friend on wastedsports.com.au, our official website. The Beetle says, what's happened with Sutherland? Now, I suspect that he got warned at some point for running down the middle of the pitch, which you're obviously not allowed to do. Now, it makes no sense that he would purposely run down the middle of the pitch when his team's got to bat second. Why scuff up the batting area when your team's got to come out and bat on it? But that's the only thing that makes sense, because he didn't bowl any above waist no balls. I think that's what's happened to him. He's been warned for running down the middle of the pitch, and he's done it again, and he's been taken out of the attack. But very bizarre scenes. 3 for 129, the Brisbane Heat. The job is not done yet. They've got themselves a very solid start. And still, Max Bryant can't get elevated up the order. Zampa to bowl. Gets this one to move away from the left-hander. Legend Oz, is that you, mate? Legends Oz. You're up to level 34 already? Wow. Okay. I've been keeping an eye out for people at like level 10. Jeez, you've been playing the bollocks out of this, haven't you? Jeez, I've had it for a lot longer than any of you lot, and I'm only on like level 50 something. All right, I'll accept that one. Legends Oz. Zampa turned away for a single. Max Bryant sitting in the dugout with a very inquisitive look on his face. Two dot balls and a single off this over from Zampa. Drew turns it away off the pads. Running hard for the first. They're going to come back for two. Well run. Again, the Brisbane Heat. Another poor throw in from the outfield. Three for 1-3-2. Drew opens up his feet there, gives himself room. Stowe got Renshaw out. Stowe got Wood out. He got them both in the same over. It was a big over from Callum, I think his name is. Callum Stowe. Alsop turns this off the pads for one. 5 off the over from Zampa. He's 1 for 20. 3 for 1-3-4. 14 overs gone. So they should still get, at minimum here, 160, 170. Which will take some chasing. But if you can imagine the score that they potentially could have got, Wood and Renshaw just giving it away a little bit at the end there. Here's the wicket taker, 2 for 16 after his 2 overs so far. Stowe back into the attack. Alsop, 3 off 6. Drew, 5 off 4. Wide outside off, scooped in the air. They take a quick single. Risky run, but they get there. Direct hit was needed. Well, they are just taking on the field tonight. The Brisbane Heat. Punishing running between the wickets. Mitchell Vela Sports, ahoy, mates. This is on KO Sports. Swing and a miss. Stowe drops this one in a little shorter. It doesn't really bounce. Drew had rocked onto the back foot, and it sneaks well under the bat. And he's left reaching at thin air there. Ambitious shout for LBW. Umpire not interested. Going down the leg side. Pitched outside leg two, probably. Yeah, that's pitched outside. It's hit impact outside, and it's missing. Cut away. They take the quick single. Misfield. Punishing running between the wickets again here. The Brisbane Heat. That is one thing that they are doing really, really well tonight. The running between the wickets has been absolutely on point. Jocker says the Demon won. Slightly off the top edge, but into the gap. Alsop. They come back for two. Well run again. 4 off it. 3 for 138. 15 overs gone. Brisbane Heat on top at this stage. Sportsbet agrees. Very short-priced favourites at the moment. Mitchell Vela Sport, yes indeed, we will be here for the game after. Even though the game after may not mean anything, if the Brisbane Heat get the win here tonight, the Scorchers and the Strikers and the Renegades, of course, are all official out of the tournament. Fergus O'Neill back into the attack. Wide outside off. Well, Drew's gone chasing it. It would have been a wide. It would have been a wide, and he would have had to bowl it again, but he went reaching. I'd love to know what Max Bryant's done. I know that Max Bryant, he certainly wasn't good in the last game. But still. Scooped in the air just over the top of mid-wicket. Just. And that's been the case for the Brisbane Heat. So close. It could have been so different. Balls have been going just over the head of the fielder, landing in between 3 outfielders or just short of the keeper. It could have been a very, very different looking scoreboard. Alsop chops this one away, square on the offside, and just a single on this occasion. There's a Melbourne Stars fan in the crowd looking very despondent at the moment. Oh, what? Fergus O'Neill now has been called for running on the pitch. Well, Fergus O'Neill now has been ejected from the bowling attack. Well, this is just nonsense. This is ridiculousness. The second Renegades bowler has now just been ejected from the attack for running down the middle of the wicket. Well, this is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. So Josh Brown being called into bowl again. Josh Brown is getting asked to go through a lot of work here tonight. Absolutely incredible. 2 bowlers ejected. And this puts a lot of pressure now on the Renegades. Brown floats it up full. They come through for a quick single. Throw goes to the keeper's end, but I think the wicket was at the non-striker's end. Incredible scenes here. Brown is none for 24 of 1.2. Now he's none for even more, because that's 6. A big 6. Through mid-wicket for 6. Or over mid-wicket. It wasn't through. Over. Well over. And Josh Brown is now none for 30 of 1.3 overs. 1.3 overs that he's really not expected to bowl. Sliced away on the offside, but protection out there. Just the one. Rogers is still playing. Chalky Kings, yes. Well, incredible scenes here. I've got to say, Brisbane Heat supporter here, but absolutely right in our luck. Big time. Three for 150, 16 overs gone. But we know the Brisbane Heat are pretty well incapable of defending big totals. Unfortunately, we know that all too well. Well, I've never seen anything quite like that. 2 bowlers have been ejected from the attack. Adam Zampa back in now. It slugs back to him off the hand. And we've seen some injuries to spin bowlers off the hand. He seems okay here, Zampa. He seems okay. Oh, he's bleeding. Yeah, he's copped a stinger there. Zampa. That's his bowling hand as well. We have seen some damage done to spin bowlers. Having the ball hit right back at them. Drew down the wicket. Punches it to cover for a short cover. No run. Three for 151. Drew scoops this over the top. It lands short of the fielder, and a misfield. They'll come back for 2. Well, the Renegades, they certainly haven't helped themselves with some of the fielding tonight. Three balls left here in this Zampa over. Drew cuts this one away for 6. That's a huge hit. Dancing down the wicket. Cuts it away for a maximum. Three for 159. Brisbane Heat playing for a potential final spot. But let's not get too excited. Let's remember the Brisbane Heat, they got over 200 the other night and were unable to defend. So there's still a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do here for the Heat. Chopped back down the pitch to Zampa. McLovin, 6'9", 6'9". The bowlers were ejected, from what we can tell, for stepping down the middle of the pitch, obstructing the umpire's view. And you're also not allowed to run on the middle of the wicket because it scuffs it up. Stumping, he's gone. Drew's on his way, and that brings Max Bryant to the crease. I feel like he kind of threw that wicket away somewhat to bring Max Bryant out. Probably got word from the dugout, we need Maxie out there. So Will Sutherland and Fergus O'Neill both ejected from the bowling lineup for running down the middle of the pitch, obstructing the umpire's view. They had apparently both had warnings, and they have now both been ejected from the bowling attack, and it has cost the Renegades a lot of runs because Josh Brown has bowled the fill-in balls, and Josh Brown has been absolutely tonked in those fill-in balls. 4 for 159 here, the Brisbane Heat and Max Bryant will have a free license here to hit. Adam Zampa finishes with 2 for 29. He's bowled well. The spinners have done well. And Callum Stowe now to bowl his last. Who's going to bowl the final two? Who will bowl the final 2 overs here for the Renegades? Alsop on strike. Pulls this away for 6. Pulls it away for 6. What a start to the over. Alsop has decided to go here. Oh, the Brisbane Heat flying high at the moment. Beautiful shot, just rocking onto the back foot. Sky Finks, ahoy, mate. Wide outside off, cut away straight to the man. Dot ball. Bangs this one in short. Alsop lifts it over the top. One bounce in front of the fielder. How many times have we seen that? The Brisbane Heat are riding a wave of luck tonight, it must be said. I say that as a Brisbane Heat supporter. A lot of luck tonight. But when you're fighting for a final spot, sometimes you just need some luck. Now, here we go. Max Bryant on strike with a free license to just go out there and hit. And he chops this away straight to the man. They push for a second, and that's well run. Oh, they're running hard between the wickets tonight, the Heat. A lot of those ones have turned into 2s. Fabulous running between the wickets. Floats this one up, stowed. Bryant turns it away leg side for just a single. 2 wins today. Well, the Brisbane Heat, they've given themselves every chance. They've batted well, set a total that's going to be very hard to track down. They just need to bowl well. Alsop pushes through the offside for 1. Four for 170. 18 overs gone. Brisbane Heat well positioned. And it is going to be Rogers. Rogers will bowl 1 of the final 2 overs. Remember, the Melbourne Renegades, Fergus O'Neill and Will Sutherland both ejected. And it looks like big Josh Brown might be the one left with the final over. Well, Rogers to Alsop. Rogers is none for 16 off 3 so far. And he starts with a dot ball. Got the slower paced off cutter going there. The average winning score at Marvel Stadium, 180. Defunk, ahoy mate. Alsop punches it through the offside into the gap. They'll come back for 2. Blagdons, 2025. You're at the game live right now. Very nice. I'm sure that there's a somber atmosphere at the moment as the Renegades still had a little something to play for tonight, and they're getting absolutely tonked at the moment. Rogers to Alsop. Swing and a miss. Couldn't get to the pace of that one. I'll tell you what, though, if anybody is going to blow a big score defense, it'll be the Brisbane Heat. Trust me on that one. If anybody's going to screw this up, it will be the Heat. Swing and a miss again. Rogers bowling extremely well. Alsop just can't get hold of him. 2 runs off this over. Valuable, especially when you consider Josh Brown's going to bowl the next over. So there's probably at least 20. There's probably at least 20 coming off this final over. So Rogers has to bowl as many dots as possible here. Well, that's right in the slot, and Alsop sends it. That's poor bowling. A slower ball right in the slot. Thank you very much. Over the top of long on fence for 6. Big runs because there's a big over coming. Overpitched from Rogers right in the arc. Final ball, bangs it in shorter. And a bottom edge. They'll come through for a single, will they? Yes, they do. And Max Bryant is frustrated because he just can't get on strike at the moment, Maxie. They come through for the single. Now, here we go. Josh Brown. Well, this is just, I don't know. I don't know about this. I do not know about this at all. Well, Fergus O'Neill, quite clearly. Fergus O'Neill, his one was quite evident. He's right down the middle of the pitch there. If he had been warned before. But the scenario is left here where big Josh Brown has to bowl the final over. He has bowled 1.4 overs. He is none for 31. And this could be a monster of a final over. Brown into Alsop, scoops him over the offside, starts with a boundary. Daniel Drew got 16 in the end. Well, you've got a feel for the Renegades here. Both teams, well, Brisbane Heat probably had a little bit more to play for. The Renegades, it was always going to be a tough ask for them to elevate their net run rate enough in order to qualify. Max Bryant was only ever interested in one there. Alsop was trying to push for a second. Max Bryant only ever wanted one. He wants to have a crack here. But imagine 2 bowlers ejected. 1 bowler ejected, you can get away with it maybe. 2 bowlers ejected. You're in this scenario now where Josh Brown has to bowl the final over. None for 36 off 2 overs. Josh Brown. 200 possibly on the cards here. Bryant scoops him over the leg side for 4. Four for 188. Oh, this is a monstrous total now. Big time pressure on the Renegades. They were both ejected, Joker, for running down the middle of the pitch. Running down the middle of the pitch and obstructing the umpire's view post-delivery. Brown, none for 40 off 2.1. And he goes again. That's 6. No, 1 bouncing over the rope. Brown, none for 44 off 2.2. This is a worst case scenario here for the Renegades. Two balls remain. Josh Brown trying everything. Max Bryant this time picks out the fielder. They come through for a single. 14 off this over. And 1 big hit to go. Alsop goes after it. 1 bounce, 2 bounces saved on the boundary. And they'll come back for a second. They'll push for 3. And they come back for a third. Poor fielding again. The throw. 4 for 196. Great effort from the Brisbane Heat batting team again. And the bowlers need to step up tonight. The bowlers have not stepped up. This is their time where they need to do so. Fourth 196. Yeah, they can bat. They just got ejected from the bowling lineup is all. So they can still come out and bat. 4 for 196 officially at the innings break. Poor Josh Brown, 2.4 overs, none for 48. That could possibly be the worst bowling figures in the history of Big Bash. Maybe in the history of cricket, although that does cover a lot of ground. So the Renegades, I think the Renegades season is done. Even if they win this, there is not a possible scenario, surely, where they can win this with enough overs spared to lift their net run rate enough to jump into 4th spot. You would have to think that the bowlers have let them down here. Let's see if anyone's done the calculation. What do the Renegades need to do here? We'll have to find out. Anyway, the Renegades, they'll be doing the calculating, and they will know exactly how fast they have to chase these runs down or die trying. And let's face it, it will probably be die trying. This is a big, big total to try and chase down. All right, what have we got here? 30 challenge mode. A challenge mode, eh? Where do I find this? I don't even know where to find that. Where do I even go for that? Fraser-McGurk and Josh Brown's got a lot to make up for as well. He will certainly feel like he needs to personally step up here after that bowling display. Not that he is expected to be a bowler by any stretch of the imagination, but still. Yeah, I don't know where to find that at all. No idea. Now that was quite extraordinary, says Lockie Bragger. I love that I'm getting all these people into Hit Wicket and they know more about it than I do. Okay, friends. Oh, invites. No, this is all just friends. This is all just friend requests. Oh, challenge. Active friendly battles. Legends Oz has challenged you. Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't know that you could do that. That's pretty cool. Okay. I've got to chase 30 runs, huh? How many overs do I have? Ten overs. Okay, Legends Oz has played the first innings and set a target of 31 runs. Let's chase it down. All right. Let's see how we go. Send my openers out there. 31 to win off 60 balls. Okay. I should make pretty light work out of this. There's a 2 off the first ball. We'll go 2 again. Oh, swing and a miss. Let's go 4. Let's go all or nothing here. We'll throw that first wicket away happily if we need to. Nope, got all of that. That's a boundary. All right, take a single, get the other guy on strike. I should actually, I'll tell you what, next stream, I will have it set up so that I can actually put this on the screen and you all can see what I'm actually doing. That'd be a lot better. You can all see what I'm doing. Oh, it gets picked up by the green screen. That is hilarious. The green on the cricket turf gets picked up by the green screen. Swing and a miss. That's all right. We'll go 4 again. Let's look to end it this over. 16 or 52. We'll go 4 again. Oh, a swing and a miss. My batsman letting me down here. There's a 4. 12 or 50. We'll go 4 again. 8 or 49. And take a single so he retains the strike for the next over. All right, I need 7 or 48 balls. Pull that one away for 4. 3 runs to win. Let's go. Let's go for it. 4. Swing and a miss. All right. We'll go again. 4. Swing and a miss. Come on, mate. Put it away. There we go. With 44 balls to spare. A speedy chase. Got the win. Look at him do his little victory dance there. I won by 7 wickets. Sorry, Legends Oz. Smashed you. But then we were expecting that, weren't we? Set Taj. Ahoy there, mate. That's cool. I didn't realize, I honestly didn't know that you could actually challenge your friends on there. That makes a whole lot of sense. So, Hit Wicket. Hit Wicket is the name of the game. And currently playing that on my iPhone. It's probably available on Android as well. I've created an alliance and everything over there on the game. So it's free to download. Feel free to grab it. It's a fun little cricket game. Good for passing the time. It would have been a good thing to have up and running. We could have used it for rain delays. So the Brisbane Heat, 4 for 196 at the end of their 20 overs. And if anybody is going to screw up defending this total, it will be the Brisbane Heat. But we'll find out. I'm going to have a quick break, and we'll be back for the run chase right after this. Lockie Bragger, thank you very much for another rose. Cheers. All right, quick break. We'll be back for the run chase. All right. Let's get ready for the run chase. The Brisbane Heat, I'm sure. Results are in. Yes, we know. Got the win there. The Brisbane Heat will be very short-priced favourites with the bookies. All right, let's see what I can do setting the target, Legends Oz. Let's see what kind of target I can set. See if you can chase it down. Lockie Bragger says Alsop's job is only half done. Now he needs to catch the ball. Yes, the Brisbane Heat. Seriously, I've been following this team long enough. I don't go into this with a whole lot of confidence, honestly. If there is a team, I've been following them long enough to know that if there is a team capable of really making a mess out of this, we know that it is the Brisbane Heat, right? I'm afraid we know this all too well. Hello, too, says, go Renegades as a Strikers fan. Yes, they do need a big win at the moment, don't they? Alvin Kamara, ahoy, mate. Welcome back. Do you think the Scorchers game will be played on 7? I don't believe so. No, I do not think so. I think both games tonight exclusive to Foxtel. Yeah. Channel 7 only purchased the rights to so many games. They didn't purchase the rights to all the games. So, Captain Redbird says this is a familiar place to be. A very familiar place to be indeed, Captain Redbeard. But we'll see. Jack Rainsford. Who's favourites from here? Surely the Brisbane Heat are favourites. Surely that would be favourites from here. But as I've just got through saying, as a long-suffering Brisbane Heat supporter, if there's any team capable of screwing this up, it is, of course, the Brisbane Heat. We'll have to see. The Joker, you did it again. You only got 23 this time. Well, I've got some worse news for you, my friend. I've started a challenge. Oh, you got a wicket. Nicely done. I've started a challenge, but I'm batting first and setting the total this time. So that could be a little bit of fun. Let's see how that works out. Yes, you would have to think that the Brisbane Heat would be favourites from here. Renegades, here we go. They're coming out to bat. And the Renegades, they've got to do it with plenty of overs to spare. I don't know what the exact total is, but yeah, the Renegades have got to elevate their net run rate. Josh Brown and Fraser-McGurk, could they put on a show here? Can they put on a show and make something out of this at least? Nathan McSweeney on the player mic. Oh, well, geez. Tawanda Muyeye is opening the batting. Tawanda Muyeye to open. Interesting call, that one. We'll see how he goes. And big Josh Brown, of course. Big Josh Brown down the other end. Xavier Bartlett, ball in hand, ready to go. Run chase about to commence. Watch the Heat blow this, says Jimmy Charles. Another long-suffering Heat fan that knows all too well, if anybody can balls this up, it will be our Brisbane Heat. I love the confidence. But let's face it, we've been hurt too many times in the past. We've been hurt too many times before. And Muyeye confidently pushes this to the offside. A dot ball, though, can't beat the infield. Oh, God, Jimmy, that's rough, mate. See, I don't go to the games anymore. I'm more than happy to just sit back and cover them live on social media. Then I don't have to do such things. I don't have to put myself through it. Bartlett, though, starts with a dot. Beautifully bowled. 2 slips in place. And a lovely outswinger there. Muyeye goes chasing it. Doesn't get the edge. Aussie Mozzie, ahoy, mate. 196 isn't enough for the Heat to defend. You would sincerely hope that it is on this occasion. Bartlett starts with 2 dots, though. Muyeye, miscommunication, and Brown almost gets tangled up with Bartlett. They don't even attempt the run out. Through for a single. 196 needed from 117. They are going to have to get a move along pretty quick, smart, the Renegades. Been good bowling to start from Bartlett. Slower ball. Punched down the ground by Josh Brown. Just a single. Mitchell Vella Sports says, new year, new heart, hopefully. Well, it didn't work out for them the other night. Michelle, ahoy there. You thought this game started at like 5 p.m.? Okay, Michelle clearly didn't know that it's a doubleheader tonight. Muyeye back on strike. Drives it, but picks out the man at mid-off. They come through for the quick single. Xavier, Bartlett, and Spencer Johnson, the key for the Brisbane Heat bowling. And Swepson will have a role to play tonight as well. We saw that the spin bowlers for the Renegades did all the damage. So Swepson has a role to play tonight. He has not been in the greatest form in BBL 14. Brown scoops it down the ground for 4. One bounce and into the sight screen fence. They need a big one from Josh Brown tonight. He bowled. Well, Josh Brown's not really a bowler, so I can't really say he bowled terribly. He's not really a bowler. Josh Brown, 2.2 overs, none for 40. You heard that correct. 2.2 overs, none for 40. The Melbourne Renegades with 2 bowlers ejected for running on the pitch. And it's none for 7 off the first over. The required run rate. This could get out of hand very, very quickly. They've got to stay on top of it here, the Renegades. And here we go, Spencer Johnson. I don't know about his acting credentials, but surely he's got to be considered for a future Disney live-action movie. Muyeye on strike. Swing and a miss at this. He's tried to pull it from outside off onto the leg side. Big air swing. Ezra Robertson says, not watching. Must be a good wicket, is it? No, not really. The Renegades just were awful. I don't think the Brisbane Heat, honestly, as a Brisbane Heat fan, this might be just me being harsh, but Brisbane Heat didn't even really bat all that well, to be honest. Some of the bowling and fielding especially was abysmal. The Renegades were very disappointing in the field. And, yeah, I mean, having 2 bowlers ejected, it's 40 runs. They gave up 40 runs that they shouldn't have, basically. Josh Brown bowled 2.2 overs and went for 40 runs. Josh Brown was never meant to bowl 2.2 overs. They had 2 bowlers ejected for running on the pitch illegally. So take Josh Brown out of the equation, and that 40 runs is probably more like 20, 25 tops. And that makes it a much more gettable total. So really, the Renegades, they let themselves down in the field. Spencer Johnson, right on the money to begin with here. He's getting a lot of air swings from the Renegades batsman. Former teammates here, of course, last season. Bangs this one in short. Brown pulls it away with authority for 6. Spencer Johnson just goes a little too short on this occasion. And Josh Brown, he's got a lot to make up for. None for 40 with the ball. Needs a big score. Ollie is the best. Ahoy, mate. And it goes again. Brown scoops this one. One bounce over the rope, just short of the fielder as well. Wood with a great effort, but can't save the boundary. Oh, Spencer Johnson is a confidence bowler, and his confidence will be rattled here. Oh, he could have got to that, Wood. He could have got to that. I think this is a 4, bouncing just shy of the fence, or the rope. I missed the fence. I wish the grounds were back, the boundaries were back on the fence again. I completely understand why they're not these days. You've got production and player safety and everything to think about. It's a completely different world we live in now, right? But I do miss the old fence being the boundary. So Josh Brown, he might be in a bit of a mood. Goes again, but it's through the keeper. Well, Alsop. It's 4 byes. Alsop has completely ballsed this one up. Four byes to go on top of the rest. It's none for 11. Spencer Johnson, well, we were just talking about it. He's a confidence bowler, and that over will certainly dent the confidence. The Renegades, none for 18. Oh, none for 22 after the 4 byes there. Sorry, none for 22 after 2. They're on track. And that over brings the required rate down below 10. They've got to keep it below 10 for as long as possible. If they can get to their power surge overs with that required run rate hovering around or under 10 and over, they will be in a very, very strong position, the Renegades. Nisa into the bowling attack now to bowl the third. Muyeye, 3 from 6, hasn't really got going. Scoops this in the air, should be taken. The man at mid-off gets under it. Tall Paul takes the catch. And Muyeye is on his way. Well, he never looked comfortable. They've flown all the way over from wherever to see it. And they'll be going home disappointed. He was shocking in the field. And now terrible with the bat. Muyeye, well, that was worthwhile. A simple catch for Tall Paul at mid-off. And a stinker of a night for Muyeye. And what was the point of all that? Fraser-McGurk, here we go. Fraser-McGurk and Brown, this is the partnership. This is the partnership that will be the winning or losing of the game for the Renegades, in my opinion. Fraser-McGurk and Josh Brown are horribly out of form, Fraser-McGurk. These two could make very light work of this chase if they get going. Down the wicket and fending away for no run. Brisbane Heat still got that slip in place. I like that. I like the aggression in the captaincy. Actually, who is the captain tonight? Still no Colin Munro. See, Colin Munro wouldn't have a slip in place. Guarantee you that. Oh, Mick Sweeney would be the captain, wouldn't he? Oh, no, Swepson is. There you go. Swepson's the captain tonight. Dancing down the pitch, Fraser-McGurk lifts it over the top of the offside for 4. Good start there. He got all of that. Well, he didn't get all of that one. He got enough on it to get it to the fence. Yet to pass 30. Yet to pass 30 in BBL 14 so far. Fraser-McGurk. Jed McDermott, ahoy, mate. Oh, a little inside edge. Dribbles out square of the wicket on the leg side. They don't push for two. It's probably not a good idea to be pushing for twos with big Josh Brown out there. Not really known for his pace between the wickets, but that could be the difference. The Brisbane Heat manufactured a lot of twos. But big Josh Brown, he can make up for it in boundaries, can't he? Jed McDermott, I go for the Brisbane Heat. Two balls left in this over. Brown backs away. Gives himself room, and will this be called wide for height? Yes, it is. Wide for height. $169 to win off 104 balls. Going to be a tough chase. Nisa drifts onto the pads, and Brown just scoops it away. One bounce for four. Just getting the line wrong there, Nisa. And Brown casually lifts this one away, scoops it. One bounce for four. Backs away, gives himself room this time. Brown chops it into the turf, and it'll just be one. That would have been pushed for two for the Heat. 1 for 33. 3 overs gone. They're on track at the moment, the Renegades. 11 is their run rate. 9.65 required. The wicket is, well, honestly, the wicket of Muyeye. I hate to be disrespectful to the guy, but largely irrelevant, I think. Not even sure why he was opening the batting, to be honest. He never looked comfortable. Xavier Bartlett in to bowl his second over. They're keeping the pressure on here, the Heat. Scooped off the pads. Brown sends it into the upper deck. It's into the first tier. Well, a half volley right in the slot. Thank you very much, says big Josh Brown. He has sent that. Josh Brown, a very, very big loss for the Brisbane Heat. He was crucial to the Heat's winning of the tournament last year. Gets under this one slightly. Has he got enough on it? It does go all the way. Back-to-back sixes for Brown. He only just got enough on that one. He got under it a little. But he sends it again. 1 for 45. Brown moves to 32 off 10. Xavier Bartlett now under pressure. Brown goes again, and this one, he scoops under it again. Will that have enough? No, it doesn't. It's been taken in the outfield. A beautiful catch. Jack Wood throws it back into his teammate, McSweeney, and the danger man, Josh Brown, is gone. Just going for one big hit too many there, Josh Brown. And he's back in the dugout for 32 off 11. The Renegades, 152 off 99. That's a big wicket. Crucial wicket. Well done there. Jack Wood tosses it back into McSweeney. Teamwork makes the dream work. And the dream is Josh Brown is back in the dugout. That's a big wicket. Renegades 2 for 45. That's a huge wicket, that one. Oliver Peak, Big Bash debut. What a moment to come in on debut and try and be part of this run chase. Bends it back down the wicket for a dot ball. The momentum has swung wildly back in favour of the Heat here. Sometimes it's a game of inches. A little bit further. And that was another 6 for Josh Brown. Instead, it's a wicket. And the Brisbane Heat well on top. That was a huge wicket. Bartlett to peak, thinking about the quick single. No, it's not on. Still on target here, though. 12 off the over. Josh Brown just looking to push on with it a little too much there. Sometimes you've just got to go, look, we've got our 2 big hits in this over. Let's just calm things down a little bit. He was trying to absolutely tonk Xavier Bartlett out of the attack there. Three dot balls to end there and a wicket. After the 2 sixes, Xavier Bartlett responds well. It's 2 for 45. The big wicket of Josh Brown. That is the end of the power play as well. Of course, it was a good power play for the Renegades until that wicket of Josh Brown. Brown's wicket has the Brisbane Heat slightly on top, I think. Big tall ball, though, into the bowling attack. These could be the overs. They push for 2. Come back for the second, and Walter spills the ball. No chance of a run out. And at least now with Fraser-McGurk and Peak, like the big hitting of Brown is gone, but we'll see some more scampering between the wickets, I think, with these 2 here. Fraser-McGurk swing and a miss outside off. He hasn't got close to that. Been a year to forget so far for Big Tall Paul. Can he come up with a good performance here tonight? A 2 and a dot to start. And again, drifts onto the legs. Fraser-McGurk tries to lift him over the square leg boundary, but doesn't get hold of it. It lands safely, and they're through for 1. Two for 48. 149 needed off 93. Needed a little bit more out of Josh Brown. I reckon Brown, he needed to get at least more than the runs that he gave up when he was bowling. Punched back down the ground, hits the stumps. Unlucky for Peak. It's just a single. Definitely would have been more runs there if it doesn't hit the stumps. So actually not a bad start this for Paul Walter. Not a bad start at all. 2 deliveries left, though. Fraser-McGurk on strike. Drives it down the ground, though. Doesn't beat the man at mid-off. Slight misfield, and they settle for 1. Well, the running between the wickets has been a very, very noticeable difference between the two teams so far. The Brisbane Heat definitely would have pushed for a second there on the misfield. The Renegades, they were never interested. 5 off the over so far, 1 to bowl. Peak pulls it away, just another single to finish. Decent one for Big Tall Paul. Renegades 2 for 51. And they're still just slightly ahead of where they need to be, but... Oh, the big wicket. The big, big wicket of Paul. Brown, sorry. 146 needed off 90 balls. Swepson into the attack now. We saw that spin worked out very, very well for the Renegades. And the Brisbane Heat now, they're going to try their hand. Swepson bringing himself on. Peak is 2 from 5. Fraser-McGurk 9 from 7. Swepson to Peak. Peak goes the ramp. Scoops it in the air. Nobody there though at backward square. They come through for a single. Delicately poised is how I would describe this one. The Renegades. Josh Brown got them off to a good start. Didn't quite finish it off, in my opinion, what he needed to do. Lead in edge. Lands safely, though. WinViz has got the Renegades at 29%. Well, they've got some work to do here. Swepson in again. Fraser-McGurk chops it away. Backward point. Covers it off, and it's another dot ball. Christian Kupkovic, ahoy! How are you, mate? A single and 2 dots here. Swepson keeping things tight. That required run rate has gone back out to 10. Single to the offside. So the Brisbane Heat, that wicket of Josh Brown has just turned things... well, not that it was ever out of their control, but things are well and truly in their control at the moment. Peak and Fraser-McGurk, they'll be happy to just punch singles here. They won't be taking any chances against Swepson. Well, maybe they will, because there's a big chance, and it scoops up in the air over the top of the man at short, fine leg. Spencer Johnson taps it back in, and it races away from him. They could run 4 here. They've run 4. Well, Spencer Johnson tapped it back in. Spencer Johnson does extremely well to save the boundary. But as he taps it back into the field of play, it just races along that practice pitch. And they've run 4. Peak advances, pushes to the leg side for a single to finish the over. 7 off it. Two for 58, 6 overs gone. I follow back in 10 seconds. Who wins this and why? Let's say that the Brisbane Heat win it from here because they surely can't balls up defending 2 big totals in a row, back-to-back games. Surely. UFC, OnlyFans, ahoy, mate. Michael Nisa, 1 for 11 off his first over. Back into bowl. How many spin options do the Brisbane Heat have? That could prove to be a difference maker as well. We saw that spin Worked out very well for the Renegades. Nisa drops it in short. Peak pulls it away to the man on the boundary. Square leg, just a single. So how many spin options do the Brisbane Heat have? Because I don't think they've really only got Swepson. Kuhneman's still injured. Daniel Drew, I suppose. Daniel Drew can bowl some spin as well. There we go. Fraser-McGurk goes after this one. Skies it. One bounce to tall Paul. Out at long on. Well, the big hitting is gone with Josh Brown. Fraser-McGurk, he didn't get to that at all. Whoops. He didn't get to that at all. Two for 60 here. Peak backs away on the leg side. Nisa follows him. They want two here. No. Peak wanted two. Fraser-McGurk not interested. Just the one. And that is the very clear difference at the moment between the two teams. The Brisbane Heat running between the wickets was immaculate. The Renegades just slightly off the pace between the stumps. Three singles to start here for Nisa. Bowling well at the moment. Field suggests this will be a full one, and it is. Fraser-McGurk turns it away, but can't beat the circle. Dot ball. That required run rate now 10.2. They've got to make sure that that does not drift out too badly. They got off to a good start. Josh Brown got them on the front foot early during the power play. Nisa in again. Bangs this in short. Fraser-McGurk off the top edge. Has he got enough on it, though? Yes, he does. Oh, he's not hit that cleanly at all. And it sails all the way. All the way over mid-wicket for 6. Jeez. He did not get hold of that in the slightest. It was off the top edge, I think. And it still had enough on it to go all the way. A much-needed 6. 79 metres, and now turns it fine on the leg side. There is protection out there. A boundary rider keeps it to a single. It's 2 for 68. 7 overs gone. They're just slightly off the pace here. Just. Swepson into the attack, and Fraser-McGurk goes boom. Another 6. Fraser-McGurk on 24 of 15. He has not made over 30 in BBL 14 so far, but that one short of a length. He just drops down to one knee and slogs it over square. Good batting there. Fraser-McGurk goes again to the offside this time. And this one, flat bats for 6 on the offside. Fraser-McGurk hits 30. Back-to-back 6s. All right, now he needs to calm down. Learn from what Josh Brown did. Doesn't want to throw his wicket away here. Swepson under the pump. Fraser-McGurk controls himself. Pushes down to long off for a single. 2 for 81. The required run rate now back under 10. Big over this one for the Renegades. 13 from it. Swepson under the pump. Peak. There we, oh, come on, boys. There was always a single there. Wake up. Wake up. I follow back in 10 seconds. Today you've gained 14 followers. Very nice, mate. Cheers. I'll drink to that. Peak turns to square on the leg side. Just a single. Good over this one for the Renegades. And Fraser-McGurk controlled himself. Something Josh Brown was not able to do. They've already got the big hits for this over. Slower ball, holds up. Fraser-McGurk waits for it, cuts it away. Protection out of deep cover, though, just the one. Partnership is 38 now of 27 balls. The Renegades are 2 for 83. 8 overs down. They've given themselves a start that provides every opportunity to go on and win this game. They've put themselves in position. And the Brisbane Heat bowlers are giving them opportunities. Spencer Johnson now, none for 11, in to bowl his second. They're going straight back to the heavy hitters here. The Brisbane Heat, Swepson, not mucking around, needs a breakthrough. Johnson to McGurk. This is going to be huge. Goes after it straight away. Fraser-McGurk skews it over the top of mid-off. And that's away for 4. Well, Spencer Johnson, we always talk about it. He's a confidence bowler, and he is not feeling it at the moment. 11 off the first over, a boundary to start. Look for him to just, maybe he drops one in too short here. Bangs it in short. As predicted, Fraser-McGurk pulls it away, but finds the man out on the fence. Just the one run. I follow back in 10 seconds. Is my name Dan? Yes, it is. 2 for 88 here. 8.2 gone. Fraser-McGurk's highest score this season, and his first time over 30 runs. WinViz evening up. Renegades up to 43%. This game is in the balance. Swing and a miss as Peak just hangs the bat out. Good bowling, that one. That's the line and length there for Spencer Johnson. Peak just hangs the bat out. Comes up with nothing. WinViz, though, it swings about all the time, doesn't it? It's shocking. 3 balls left in this over. Johnson to Peak. Bends it down to the offside for a single. Jocko, yes, we will be live for the next game as well. Especially if the Renegades manage to win this. There is everything to play for suddenly in that next game. Because if the Renegades win this game, the winner of the Scorchers versus Strikers will very likely jump into 4th spot. Bangs it in short. Fraser-McGurk gets it off the glove over the top of the keeper for 4 runs. Well, Fraser-McGurk, 41 of 21. Will Main's cousin is playing very well. Two for 93. Oh, they're giving themselves a chance here. They are giving themselves a chance. The Renegades, their season mathematically still alive. Barely, but it is. Goes again. Fraser-McGurk drives this over long on for 6. That is a monster hit. Fraser-McGurk goes 47 from 22. And the Renegades, well, they're bloody cruising here. Cruising. Spencer Johnson, none for 27 off 2. He's a confidence bowler, and they went after him early and threw him off his game, and he is completely off his length at the moment. That was on the leg side, right in the slot. Fraser-McGurk playing the innings so far that we know that he's capable of, but he has not done so far this season. Dan, you're on 10K likes this stream on TikTok. Very nice. Cheers to all the likers. The people that have been sitting there tapping away. Tap, 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 tap. Very much appreciated. Big tall Paul now. Who would have thought that Paul Walter is bowling better than Spencer Johnson? Right on the money. A Yorker right on middle stump. And Peak fends it away for no run. Who would have ever imagined in a million years that we would be saying right now that Paul Walter is bowling heaps better than Spencer Johnson? That is ridiculousness of the highest order. Peak pulls this one away. There's protection out there on the rope. Just a single. Fraser-McGurk back on strike. 97 to win off 64 balls. Boy, there's and a power surge to come. Oh, do you call the surge immediately? Surely you call the surge immediately. Just like the Brisbane Heat did. Two for 100. Fraser-McGurk 47 off 22. This is the key wicket. They need to get rid of Fraser-McGurk. Cuts this one away. Picks out the man at deep cover. And they run through for a single. That's all they need to do at the moment, really. Paul Walter dropped from the squad, back into the squad. Credit where credit is due. Look, we've given Big Tall Paul a hard time this season. Credit where credit's due, though. He's bowling well tonight. None for 8 off 1.3. We will rag on people when they deserve it, but we'll also give them credit when they deserve it. Peak down the wicket, thinking about 2. Miscommunication. Sent back. Just the 1. Two for 102. Fraser-McGurk back on strike. 48 runs. Can he get to 50 for the first time this season? Paul Walter, none for 9 off 1.4. Bowling well. Bangs it in short and slow. Fraser-McGurk pulls it away into the gap. Pushes hard for the first. They come back for the second. Chance of a run out. He has to dive, but he's safely home, and that's his 50. Fraser-McGurk, what a time to bring it up. What a time to bring it up. Season on the line. The bowlers have let them down. They're chasing a big total. And he needed to step up today, and he has done just that so far. Plenty of work to do still, though. Fraser-McGurk, 50 off 24. Easily his best performance of BBL 14. I mean, needless to say. 2 for 104 here, the Renegades. Oh, this game, though, is still on a knife's edge. Do you take the surge straight away with Fraser-McGurk in this sort of form? I think you do. But we'll see what they call after this ball. This is a big delivery, this one. Big delivery. Paul Walter in. Fraser-McGurk pulls him away. Into the gap for 4. A glorious shot. Yes, you call this surge. Maybe not this over. Maybe you call it... maybe you manipulate this next over to make sure that Fraser-McGurk is playing... facing ball number 1 of the surge. Anyway, it's drinks break for the players. It's not drinks break for me. I've been drinking the whole time. Another good over from the Renegades. 2 for 108 after 10. They are on track. The required run rate now has dropped under 9 for the first time. 8.9 and over they need. They're going at 10.8. And they need to chase this down. Remember, they've got to lift their net run rate as well. They've probably got to chase this down in 18 overs. So, when you think about net run rate, to give themselves any chance of getting into the finals, if you take net run rate into consideration, it's 89 off 60. So, it would be 89 off about 48 that they need to get. $89 off about 48 or thereabouts. They can't let it get down to the final over, basically. The Renegades, they need to win this and improve their net run rate to have any chance of making the finals. Any chance at all. And the faster they chase it down, the better off it is for them. Lockie Braga and NRL Kalen, some very frustrated Brisbane Heat supporters in the chat room. I've been a Brisbane Heat supporter now for BBL. I didn't start watching BBL immediately, so I haven't been a supporter for 14 seasons. Maybe about 8 seasons. We're used to this, surely, aren't we? We're used to this sort of stuff. It shouldn't come as a surprise anymore. Last year was a little bit of a blip on the radar. We actually did well. But we're used to this sort of performance, are we not? They are calling the power surge immediately. Look, I would have left it one more over and had Fraser-McGurk on strike. They've called it. The power surge is called. And the Melbourne Renegades, well, actually, yeah, I suppose it makes sense. They do have to, as I said, they do have to chase this down with overs to spare. So it makes no sense to fluff about and wait. Xavier Bartlett back into the attack now. 1 for 19 off his 2 overs. Peak on strike. It's down the leg side. It's pulled away for 4 to start. A perfect start to the power surge here for the Renegades. 4 off the first ball. Aaron Peaver, ahoy there, mate. Watching on Fox Sports. This one's exclusive to Fox Sports. Two for 112. Peak on debut. Pushes to the offside for a quick single. Fraser-McGurk on strike. Cruiser, ahoy, mate. Jack Wintour. G'day, Cobb, up the stars. Ahoy there, Jack. Oh, up the sixes, sorry. Why did I see stars? Up the sixes, he said. Bloody hell. He's going to be offended. I said sixes. How dare you say I'll go for the stars? NRL Kalen says, Brisbane, I want McCullum back. Geez, do we really? Fraser-McGurk scoops this down the ground for 6 over long off. Just casually on the back foot. Straight down the ground for 6. This power surge has been a dream start for the Renegades. And Fraser-McGurk's in a mood. An absolute mood. $11 off this over so far. Ball toss, chopped away off the offside for 4. And maybe keep an eye on height here. He's looking at square leg. He is eyeing off the square leg umpire. Give me that no ball, he says. But either way, Xavier Bartlett gets it horribly wrong. A full toss outside off. Bread and butter for any quality batsman. Just chops it away over the top of point for 4. This is getting embarrassing now. A dot ball! A dot ball for Xavier Bartlett. 15 off the over so far. 1 ball to go. This partnership's 78 or 44. That's how bad it is that we're cheering a dot ball like they just won the tournament. Bartlett, final ball. Right in the slot, and Fraser-McGurk scoops it for 6. Through the covers. Or over the covers. Well over the covers. Right in the slot. Over pitched. Half volley. Thank you very much. 68 to win off 54. The Renegades are well on top here. Well on top. That is just really poor bowling from Xavier Bartlett. Really poor. The Heat are one-year dreamers, says NRL Kalen. But let's be honest, what a year it was. What a fantastic year it was. Well, unfortunately for the Brisbane Heat, recruitment and retention continues to be an issue because every single time we actually do well, we let all the players go. Josh Brown was pretty much single-handedly responsible for the impressive batting last season, and we let him go to the Renegades. But we put Colin Munro on a long-term deal. Anyway, Dale, thank you very much for the rose. Cheers. Spencer Johnson to bowl the second surge over. Peake goes for the ramp shot. Misses it. And a dot ball to start. Spencer Johnson, none for 27 off his 2 overs so far. Oh, 100%. Lockie Bragger, I mean, it's been really poor bowling, but let's be honest, the Renegades were really poor bowling as well, for the most part. So the batsmen still have to be good enough to put it away. Bowled him! Spencer Johnson's bowled him. Finally a wicket. And the door just swings open a little bit here for the Brisbane Heat. Peake is gone. What a solid debut, though, from Peake. 19 of 21. Played the support role for Fraser-McGurk nicely. It would have been such a tough situation for the kid to come out here in on debut. The Renegades under the pump. And he has supported Fraser-McGurk. Finally, he's done his job. But now he's on his way. Spencer Johnson with the breakthrough. Oliver Peake on debut. Bolt Johnson, 19 from 21. It's 3 for 129. 11.2 overs gone. Renegades, 68 from 52. Well and truly in control of this run chase now as Seifert out to the crease. Oh, Dylan, thank you very much for the roses. Cheers. Timmy Seifert, 68 or 52 should be a very manageable chase from here out. 7.85, the required run rate. The thing is, the Renegades, they've got to keep going. They can't just win this game. The Renegades cannot just win this game. Bowled him! Spencer Johnson's on a hat-trick! A beautiful in-swinging Yorker, and Spencer Johnson has just swung this game on its head. He is on a hat-trick, back-to-back clean bowled. Oh, those beautiful blue eyes have found a sighter. Four for 129. He's on a hat-trick, ciphered out for a golden duck. And this game has swung well and truly now back in favour of the Heat. Spencer Johnson, 2 for 27. Suddenly his figures look very impressive. And Harry Dixon to face the hat-trick ball. Oh, God. Sweppers, get a slip in place. Spencer bangs it in short. Well, did he know he's in a hat-trick? Does Spencer Johnson know that he was on a hat-trick there? He's banged it in short. And Dixon just lets it fly through to the keeper for a dot ball. 2 wickets and 2 balls with full Yorkers perfectly placed. And the hat-trick ball, he bangs it in short. Don't know what that was all about. Fires this one in, hits the pad, creeping down the leg side. Big appeal for LBW. Well, Spencer Johnson has suddenly found his bloody range. And he is firing them in. 68 or 50 balls. This would still be, you would have to think, a manageable chase. Fraser-McGurk now on strike. They came through for a leg by that last ball. All right. Fraser-McGurk on strike. Spencer Johnson in form suddenly. Fraser-McGurk goes after it, chops it off the top edge, and it lands safely. They'll come back for 2 if it doesn't go for 4. Do they push for a third? No, they settle for 2 to finish that over. A big over for Spencer Johnson. And the Brisbane Heat are now right back in this. 4 for 132. 12 overs gone. They can't afford this one to go down to the wire, the Renegades. They need to win, and they need to win with at least an over to spare. And the more overs they have to spare, the better for them. $65 runs required off the remaining 8 overs, but yeah, if you consider the net run rate that they need, it's more likely off 7 or 6 overs. So they do still have to get a move along here. Dixon on strike, and Walter, who's actually bowling well tonight, big tall Paul. None for 15 off his 2. To Dixon. Dixon turns it off the hips. Away for 1. Thinking about 2. They come back for 2. Pushing hard for the second run there. That's better running between the wickets there from the Renegades. $63 needed or 47 balls. That's Spencer Johnson over. Boy, did that really shake things up. Dixon punches to mid-off. They take the quick single on the misfield. WinViz is at 60% for the Renegades. Jeez, I don't know about that. I've got the Brisbane Heat slightly ahead at this point. I would actually swing that. I think 60% Heat, 40% Renegades personally, but I mean, admittedly, I might be a little bit biased. But I just think the game situation at the moment, I'd be swinging that Winviz around. Walter, slower ball, gets the French cut past the stumps. Dot ball. He's bowling well, big tall Paul. A very impressive effort. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy, mate. How have you been? Wide outside off stump. Picks out the man on the circle. Dot ball. Oh, big tall Paul. Where has this performance been all season long? How are you, Mr. Ed's dead? How are things over there in America, mate? It's almost January 20th. Steps across the stumps to Fraser-McGurk. And it's still wide out the offside. Was it called? Throw for a dot ball. Oh, sorry to hear that, Mr. Ed's dead. That must have been rough, mate. I mean, I've done that myself in the past, so I know it's rough. Very sorry to hear that, buddy. Final ball of the over here from Paul Walter. Slower one. Ball and on off stump. Slashed away. Just a single. Paul Walter. 4 from the over. Amazing bowling from big tall Paul. 3 overs, none for 19. Maybe dropping him in the last game was exactly what he needed. 4 for 136 here. Oh, geez. I don't know. If the Renegades do chase this down, I don't know if they're going to chase it down with enough to spare. They've got to lift their net run rate, remember. I'll be right back. Swepson back into the attack, and it's gone for 6. First ball. Scoops it up over the offside. Overpitched there from Swepson. Half volley territory. Corrects his line this time, and it's just a single. Mr. Ed's dead says, worst yet, my mum passed away in August. Oh, very sorry to hear that too. Mr. Ed's dead. That's a horrible, horrible back-to-back. A big cheers to Blue and to Mum and to Mr. Ed's dead. Swing and a miss outside off stump there from Dixon. 54 off 39. Still 6 wickets in hand. Oh, delicately poised. Jocker, your grandpa passed away in November. Always terrible to hear. Dixon scoops this one square on the leg side for 6. To your grandpa, Jocker. Absolutely, Mr. Ed's dead. We've got to take time to mourn, of course. A perfectly natural, healthy thing to do. Swepson has gone for 13 off this over. Dixon pushes it to the offside for a single. Henry, ahoy there, mate. Please, Heat. Don't throw. Fitzy, your great-grandpa died 16 years ago. Oh, well, you know, it might be some time ago now, but they're always in our thoughts, aren't they? Swing and a miss from Fraser-McGurk, and he was nearly clean bowled there. So to Fitzy's great-grandpa. Elijah, ahoy, mate. Doing very well, thank you. How are you? Oh, that's only just missed the stumps. What a huge breakthrough that would have been. Fraser-McGurk trying to sky it over the leg side again. And that has missed the top of the stumps by the hair of a bee's nutsack. Unbelievable. Will Main, your grandpa passed in June 2024. To your grandpa, Will. And I'm sorry, the chat room's now got very mournful. Walshy, thank you very much for sending through the Rockstar. Cheers, mate. 4 for 150, the target 197, 47 needed off 36. Nisa into the attack. Dixon punches down to big tall Paul at mid-off. And a single to bring Fraser-McGurk on strike. Robert M. says, so Dan, if we win this, who do we play? Well, Robert M., if we're talking about the Brisbane Heat win this, they need the Stars to lose to the Hurricanes tomorrow. Otherwise, they play nobody. Still. Full toss above waist height. Fraser-McGurk pulls it away for 6, and this will surely be a no ball. It is. Oh, well, it gets worse here. Nisa has completely lost this one out of the hands. It's gone for 6, and it's also a no ball. A free hit to come for Fraser-McGurk. I better see what that's about. Ball for 160. And the free hit only gets 2. Fraser-McGurk on 88. Wide outside off. Lifts it over the top of the offside, but protection at cover. Steezy says, of course, the only time he scores run. Well, it's funny because we were talking at the top of the stream about how this whole scenario is perfectly set up for Fraser-McGurk. Dixon goes after it, slightly off the top edge, and it's taken by Renshaw on the boundary. Down at long on, and Dixon's gone. 36 off 32 needed. But they might run out of wickets here, the Renegades. They have to keep pushing. Remember that. They have to keep pushing here for the victory. They don't qualify if they just win. They have to win and get their net run rate up. Five for 161, 36 off 32 needed. But that 32 is probably more likely 26 at most. So let's say that 36 off 26. They have to elevate that net run rate to give themselves any chance. And Will Sutherland now out to the crease. He will be furious, I'm sure. being ejected from the bowling attack. Ejected from the bowling attack for running down the middle of the wicket. Hello, too, says you can't believe the Renegades are actually doing this so easily. Straight back down the ground, smokes it, and that should go all the way for 4 across the practice pitches. Well, Sutherland, he'll be in a mood. Taken out of the bowling attack. Starts with a boundary. It's a slow outfield, but when you find those practice pitches down there, it races away. Michelle came back to jokingly ask, how are the Heat losing this one? Just to find out that the Heat are actually losing this one. Final ball of the over here. Nisa looped over the top of point. Uppishly played. They come back for a second. "30 runs needed off 30 balls, but yes, remember that net run rate. They need to do this. They need to do this. Well, 20 would be good for them. 26 at most. Five for 167. They've done an amazing job here at this run chase. And they've turned to Spencer Johnson. It's all or nothing now. For the Brisbane Heat, it is all or nothing. Spencer Johnson, 2 for 29. Johnson versus Fraser-McGurk. They need to get rid of Fraser-McGurk to have any chance here of defending this total. So Spencer Johnson is about to be bowled out. His 4 overs. This is an all or nothing play from the captain, Swepson. This over could potentially be the game in the balance. This could be the finals in the balance. Johnson to Fraser-McGurk. Cut away. There's protection out there on the rope. Pushing for 2. Fraser-McGurk goes to 91. Oops, spilt my drink. 28 needed off 29 balls, or 23. They've got to do it quicker. They have to do it quicker. Fraser-McGurk looking for a century. McGurk gets out on 99, says Peter Parker. Edged short of the man. Run out opportunity, but misses the stumps. And they think about coming back for the overthrow. Well, Fraser-McGurk would have been gone for 91 there if there's a direct hit. Outside edge, straight to the man at backward point. He was out stone cold. But missing the stumps. "27 off 28. Johnson, 2 for 32. Another game going down to the wire. But remember, the Renegades, they can't afford this to go down to the wire. Sutherland punches back down the ground, beats the man at mid-on. It'll be at least 2. Nisa fields it, throws it back in. And they have come back for a third, actually. They pushed the third run to get Fraser-McGurk back on strike. 24 of 27. Brisbane Heat have once again made very, very difficult work out of a big, big score to defend. "24 of 27, Fraser-McGurk, 92. Can he get a century? If nothing else in this game. Backs away. Cuts it to the man. Direct hit has him stone cold again. Well, they are taking on Maxi Bryant tonight there at backward point. Direct hit would have had him out again. Taking their chances now. And, yeah, well, quite frankly, that throw wasn't even close, was it? Wasn't even close. 23 from 26. 2 balls left for Johnson. Sutherland steps over to the offside. There was a noise there. Given not out. They might review this. Do they review this? There was definitely a sound. Was it glove or was it off the hip? And it's been reviewed immediately. There was a clear sound. Was it his shirt? Was it glove? Was it a cheeky little edge off the bat? We are about to find out. Oh, well, it's definitely hit his hip. Definitely hit his hip, but it might have brushed the glove here on the way through as well. There's a little noise there. There is a tiny noise as it passes the glove. There is the big noise, which is clearly off the shirt. But is there just a little spike here as it goes past the glove? There, no. He's not out. They had to review it, though, the Heat. They had to review it. They need a wicket. If the Renegades manage to see off Spencer Johnson here with no further damage done, and they've taken 8 runs off the over so far, this is a good result for the Renegades. What the hell? I'm sorry, but this has just popped up. Speculation that Ronaldo Mulitalo is being shopped to the Broncos. Well, they can't afford him, surely. The Broncos' salary cap is burnt already. There is no way they can afford Mulitalo as Johnson fires down a wide now. Spencer Johnson getting his line wrong on this occasion. 22 to win off 25. 22 off 19. Probably more likely for the Renegades' net run rate. Final ball. Bangs it in short. Right in the swinging arc. Sutherland scoops it away. 1 bounce for 4. Through mid-wicket. Beautiful shot. And that's the end of Spencer Johnson tonight. 2 for 41 off his 4 overs. And the Renegades need 18 off 24, 18 off 18 probably, to give themselves any chance, any slim chance of finals qualification. Five for 179 and big tall Paul into bowl. Well, he's bowled well tonight, Walter. None for 19 off his 3, but what a situation to throw him into here. Who else to turn to, though, I suppose? Like, yeah, who else to turn to? Spencer Johnson's been bowled out now. Walter to Fraser-McGurk on 93. Steps across the stumps to the offside, slower ball. Bangs it back past Walter, and they'll push for 2 here. Fraser-McGurk goes to 95. 16 off 23 here for the Renegades. This is unbelievable, the way that they have just controlled this run chase. Boy, that was well wide outside off as well. He could easily have left it. Would have had to bowl it again. 2 to start the over, though. 16 off 23. Goes after it. Fraser-McGurk misses out. Well, that was there to be hit. Paul Walter knows it as well. They're both having a big laugh. They are both having a huge laugh. He knows he's missed out on one there, and Walter knows he's got away with one. 16 of 22. McGurk wants his century here. Fitzy, ahoy there. How are you, mate? Slower ball. Fraser-McGurk goes after it. Gets underneath it a little bit, and it's caught at long off. What an amazing catch. Fraser-McGurk falls for 95. Renshaw has taken an absolute blinder. And this game is not over yet. This game has got another twist in the tail. Fraser-McGurk, 95. Renegades, 6 for 181. They still need 16 of 21. They need 16 or 15, actually. Because even if they win in the final over, it won't be enough to elevate their net run rate enough to get them into 4th spot. They have got to get their net run rate above the Strikers and the Scorchers to at least have a chance. The Renegades net run rate plus 0.033. The Scorchers and the Strikers are plus 0.67 and 0.57. Football shows levels. Ahoy there, mate. Welcome along. What a catch from Renshaw in the outfield. Stealing that century away from Fraser-McGurk, but McGurk, he's done his job. He's put them in a situation here where Tom Rogers can try and finish the job. Turns it off the pads for one. So they push for a second. They think about it. There was always only one there. 15 needed of 20 balls. But 15 or 14 is what they actually need to have any chance of lifting their net run rate up enough to be above the Strikers and the Scorchers. Still a fabulous effort, though. 95 runs. Fraser-McGurk, his best innings by far in BBL 14, and what a time to pull it out. Sutherland pulls this one away, picks out the man on the rope. Xavier Bartlett takes the catch, and they are fluffing their lines here, the Renegades. The Brisbane Heat, are they about to pull off a miracle? 7 for 182. 15 needed off 19 balls. Tall Paul, 2 wickets in the over. And this is what happens. The pressure of the situation. The Renegades know that they have to go for the runs. It doesn't matter. Like, the Renegades, they either get the runs with an over to spare, or they may as well not get them at all. That is the nature of their net run rate situation. So they have to keep going for it. The Brisbane Heat, smart captaincy. Put everyone back on the rope. Make them play the shots. Fergus O'Neill, one of the other ejected bowlers, to face the last ball here. Paul Walter, the pick of the bowlers. Who'd have thought? Opens the face and turns it away down to third man for a single. 14 needed off 18 balls. 14 off 12 to have any chance of finals. Seven for 183. 2 fresh batsmen at the crease. Paul Walter, 4 overs, 2 for 23. Clearly his best performance of BBL 14 as well. Where has that been all season? Big tall Paul. sometimes you just need to be dropped, right? Sometimes you just need to be dropped from the squad to do some inner thinking and find your form. Right in the slot there from Bartlett. It's been scooped in the air. A couple of bounces to the fielder out there on the rope, and they push back for a second. 12 runs off 17. Look, at the end of the day, this should still be an easy chase for the Renegades. 12 off 17. They should get it easy. But the little caveat here is that they do need to get it with an over to spare. If they win this in the last over, their season is still done. They've got to get it done with balls to spare. O'Neill goes for it. Doesn't get hold of it. It lands safely. And they'll push for 2 more. Well, Fergus O'Neill, surely they've got to get Rogers on strike, right? They're pushing the 2s, which is great. It gets the runs down, but surely Rogers is the one who's going to get this job done. 10 from 16. 10 from 16 for the Renegades to win the game. 10 from 10 to have any chance of making the finals. As slim as it may still be, 10 runs from 10 balls to have any chance at finals. 10 from 16 to merely win the match. Lifts it over the top of the offside, but protection at third man. And it's just a single to bring Rogers on strike. 9 from 15. 9 from 15 to win. 9 from 9 to still have a slight chance at finals for the Renegades. For the Brisbane Heat, 3 more wickets to have any chance at finals. Xavier Bartlett 1 for 45, but Swepson to bowl the final over. But if it gets to the final over, it won't be enough for the Renegades. Rogers fends to the offside. They come through for the quick single. Direct hit has him, but he misses the stumps again. Eight runs off 14. Lots of tension out there at the ground. 6 off this over so far from Bartlett. Goes after it. Fergus O'Neill lifts it into the stands. A fabulous hit. And the Renegades are on the cusp of victory now. 2 runs off 13 balls. And their season is still a minuscule spark of hope left for the Renegades. 2 runs off 13 balls. And the Brisbane Heat season is over. Surely. Bartlett to O'Neill, who slogs it down the ground for 4 to win. The Brisbane Heat are done for BBL 14. And the Renegades will jump to 4th, albeit probably temporarily. And they have done it with 12 balls to spare, I believe. And that will do wonders for their net run rate. That makes this next game massive. This next game is now massive in the context of the finals. The Melbourne Stars now, they simply just have to win. Oh, yeah, the Melbourne Stars now just have to win. The Melbourne Stars now just need to win tomorrow, and they will make themselves through to the finals. Oh, boy. What a performance there. The Melbourne Renegades, what a run chase. Back-to-back games for the Brisbane Heat, unable to defend. Huge totals. Their bowling has not been on point all season long. Congratulations to the Melbourne Renegades. Their slim chance of finals footy, I nearly said. Their slim chance of playing in the finals still alive. They jump to 4th on the ladder, albeit probably temporarily, because the Strikers and the Scorchers play next. The Brisbane Heat, though, they're done. They're going to finish bottom 2, the Brisbane Heat, which is probably a deserving outcome for them, the way that they've played this year. Wasted World of Sports, stay with us. Scorchers versus the Strikers coming up next. I'm going to have a quick break and be right back. Thanks for joining us for this one. I'll leave the TikTok stream going. I need to change the title, don't I? I don't know if I can change the title. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll end it and I'll start again because I need to change the title, and I'm not sure if I can do that while the stream is still active. I'm unfamiliar enough with how TikTok works. So anyway, we'll end it. And new stream coming up in a few minutes as the Scorchers take on the Strikers. The chance to topple the Melbourne Renegades for 4th spot. Catch you